Yo, I'm in here watching Saw. I think it's Saw 5. Saw 5, yeah. But that ain't what I came on here for. Like I just said, I'm gonna play the movie because I ain't paying no attention to it, so that I could give y'all a quick story time. And now I can't even remember what I was gonna tell y'all the story on. I remember now. So, welcome to Drinks with DSK. All that good stuff. Shout out to my friend Sakia's event planning company, Lock It In Event Planning. I just so happen to have the shirt on tonight. Tonight's drink is Dr. Stoner's Smoky Herb. I've been drinking it since about 9 o'clock, so judge your mama and not me, right? So I'm gonna try to keep this video under 13 minutes, right? Cause my story times, I be getting so like, and I be talking with my hands and stuff, like I be getting so excited or like into the story that it just drags on, right? So this story time right here is about when I smoke weed with my best friend, right? So I just felt like telling y'all this tonight. So this was in 2004. This was in 2004. So I had smoked before, or whatever. And hold on, I gotta clean my glasses. Sorry. It's something on my glasses. Like, jeez, Louise. I could go back and edit all that out, but I'm not finna do that. Anywho, this was in 2004, so that was 17 years ago, right? So this particular night, I have a friend who we went to the same college or whatever. So this particular friend, we would come home every weekend. Well, we would leave school on Thursday, and we would come, home to Durham, and then like y'all excuse my dreads, like they are the worst. I need to retwist, but whatever. So excuse me. We would leave school on Thursday, and we would come to Durham, and then we would leave Durham on Monday going back to school or whatever. Mind you, this is a whole side note. Mind you, I had class on Monday. So this particular friend would always be like, hey, what time you got to be back for class? I had a 2 o'clock class, and I had a 5:30 class. And I'd be like, oh, whatever time you want to leave. So we be leaving Durham like 2:30, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. And mind you, I have a 2 o'clock class. So I will always miss my 2 o'clock class. That's a story for another day. But anywho. So this particular weekend, we left going back to school on Sunday. So this particular friend who shall remain nameless, I'm sure if you're friends with me and you watch this video, you're gonna put 2 and 2 together and you're gonna know who it is or whatever. But so this particular friend, we was going back to school. I don't know why we were going back to school on a Sunday, but I can't remember. So we leave or whatever, and I meet her at her house or whatever. And so she was like, yeah, your best friend, who's gonna remain nameless in this video too, needs a ride back to school. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, it's your call. Like, bro, I don't care who you take back to school. So Me and the driver went to the same school, and then my best friend, he went to a different school. So, but we was all cool. Like, we've known each other, like, at this point, probably like 25, 30 years or whatever. So, we get in the car or whatever, and the driver has a best friend. And so the driver was like, well, I gotta stop by my best friend's house, you know, before we go back to school or whatever, because for whatever reason, I gotta get something from them or do something. I was like, okay, cool. We get to the driver's best friend's house, and my best friend was like, dang, I left something at my house. I gotta go back to my house to get it. The driver says, okay, cool. Like, you just take my keys, like, because my best friend and the driver's best friend probably lived maybe like 5 minutes from each other. So my best friend was like, cool, I'll just drive, excuse me, to my house or whatever. So I was like, well, bro, I just ride with you or whatever. So right around the corner, we get around the corner. My best friend, you know, goes to his house, gets what he had left or whatever. And he was like, bro, you trying to smoke? And I was like, I mean, I'm cool with it or whatever. So it's funny now. Like, so he goes, you know, to his homeboy's house, who lives like, you know, right there where he lives at, picks up, you know, the weed or whatever. And again, this was in 2004. So if the feds is watching, this was 17 years ago. You can't do nothing to me now. 17 years ago. This was in 2004. 2004. All right? So, anywho, just had to give that disclaimer. So, you know, he gets the weed or whatever, and we go back to the driver's best friend's house. So we sit outside and smoke or whatever. So mind you, like, I had smoked before, but I'm not the best like roller, like, or whatever. So like I couldn't roll or whatever. So my best friend was like, I got you or whatever. And so he was like, dang, I need something to put, you know, because he was breaking down the little blunt or whatever. I need something to put this tobacco in this blunt that I'm about to break down. So there was a cup that was in the car, right? That was the driver's cup. So the driver had some Kool-Aid in the cup. I don't know where they got the Kool-Aid from, but the cup was in the car with the Kool-Aid. So my best friend dumps the Kool-Aid out and puts the tobacco in the cup, in the styrofoam cup that the Kool-Aid was in, right? So we smoke or whatever, and we hide in the Cooter Brown. Like, so we get out the car and we go back in the driver's best friend's house, right? So we get in there and we sit down, and I'm just like, and I believe it was the driver's best friend who says, what's wrong with you? And I was like, what you talking about? Like, I'm good. Like, what you mean? What's wrong with me? And she was like, no, something ain't right. And I was like, what do you mean something ain't right? I'm good. What are you talking about? So she was like, she says, are y'all high? And I was like, what you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Or whatever. So she was like, no, y'all look like y'all high. She was like, because his eyes are like bloodshot red, and then you real quiet. Like, you ain't saying nothing. And I was just like, bro, I ain't got, what do you, like, I don't have nothing to say. Like, what, I mean, I'm not understanding why you figure that I'm high, because I ain't saying nothing. So, whatever. So we leave or whatever. We get in the car. Bruh, the driver, she goes to pick up her Kool-Aid, and she looks in that cup and sees that tobacco. Bruh, she flips. She flips. And she was like, bro, what happened to my Kool-Aid? And so I ain't saying nothing. Mind you, I'm sitting in the front seat. My best friend sitting in the back seat. And so I ain't saying nothing. And she was like, She was like, this is tobacco. She was like, bro, I know you didn't pour my Kool-Aid out to break your blunt down in my car, like the smoke or whatever. She was like, that is so, like, that's so disrespectful. Like, she's going off on my best friend. Mind you, I ain't saying nothing. Saying nothing. Because I don't want to incriminate myself, right? So, I ain't saying that. I'm just looking out the window, like, dang, like, she going off on my boy. So, then my best friend, stool pigeon, he says, I don't know why you fussing at me, because he was smoking too. And she was like, he don't smoke. Like, you just gonna lie on him and say that he smoked? Like, and so he was like, bruh, like, tell her you was smoking too. Like, you gonna try to sit here and try to put this all on me? Like, it was just me. Like, he was big mad. My best friend was big mad. So I was like, I mean, I did, like, you know, smoke, or I did, like, hit the blunt a couple times or whatever. And she was like, she couldn't believe it. So she was like, are you kidding me? Like, she was a big man. So we was probably like maybe 15 minutes on the highway, but she didn't say nothing else, like nothing else. So we get to my best friend's school, drop him off at school. I was like, all right, bro, I'll holler at you, man. You know, I hit you up, you know, on instant messenger, or, you know, I call you or whatever. He was like, all right, bro. And he said bye to the driver, but she said nothing to him. Nothing. Like, so me and her, like, our school was still like another like 30, 45 minutes away. But she said nothing. Nothing. Silence in the car. Silence. So we pulled back up at school, and like at our school, if you know, weren't like somebody who kind of stayed on campus all the time, you were like a commuter, you would have to park in like the commuter lot or whatever. So we park in the commuter lot or whatever, and we would call campus police and tell campus police, like, hey, we in the commuter lot, can you come pick us up to take us to our dorms or whatever, because we stayed in what was considered like the honors dorms. So I stayed in building 4 and she stayed in building 1. Y'all probably gonna figure out what school it was at, but I ain't saying. So we get there and she was like, can you call campus police? And I was like, you still mad? Like, and she was like, can you call campus police? I called campus police. They come get us on the commuter lot, and they would drive us to like the parking lot of building 1. And so where they would drop us off at was like right in front of building 1, in front of the door. And then I would just have to like walk around the corner. Building 4 was right there, because they was right beside each other. So I was like, you still mad? But she said nothing to me. Like, nothing. Like, she was a big mad. Like, she was a big mad. She was like, I ain't got nothing to say to you. And I was like, dang, like, it's like that, cuz? Like, for real? Like, you really mad at me? Because, like, I didn't even dump your Kool-Aid out. Like, he dumped your Kool-Aid out, and you mad at me? Like, I'm confused. Like, you should talk to me. Like, I didn't do anything or whatever. So, bro, it took her like 2 days to get over that. But, like, we good now or whatever. But it was just funny to me how, like, one, when she found out that I had smoked in the car with my best friend, she was big mad. Then when we got to school, she was big mad. Like, I was just like, bro, it's just a little weed. Like, ain't hurt nobody. Like, ain't hurt nobody. But I can say that me and the driver are still friends to this day. Me and my best friend, we still friends to this day. Like, that was just hilarious. I was like, dang, I gotta give y'all a quick story time, man. That was funny. That was like, I think it was like maybe the second time or third time that I had smoked weed, but listen, that thing was funny to me. Do you hear me? Like, when she found out I had smoked in that car too, bruh, she could have jumped in the back seat and beat my best friend up, but It was so funny. That was so funny. So listen, that's my story time for the night. The time that we smoked out the driver's car. Like, that's what we gonna call it. The time we smoked out the driver's car. And I gotta ask my best friend tomorrow, do he still remember that? Because that thing was funny to me. Like, it was funny to me. So yeah. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to my channel, Drinks with DSK. I got a new channel that's coming real soon. Shameless plug with another one of my friends. It's gonna be super dope. We working out the kinks on some things, so it's coming real soon, y'all. But as I always tell y'all at the end of all my videos, like my homeboy in barber school used to say, be good or be good at it. Peace.